right, happy Wednesday. Okay, injury front. Paris will not go this week. Everybody else will kind of see how the week goes. We will not activate Trey Benson. Just hasn't progressed to the point that he can go out there and play football right now. Excited to get back on the grass today. They're in meetings right now. Houston's a good football team, I think on a 5-game win streak. Best defense in the NFL. C.J. Stroud is back. They do a really good job both phases, taking the ball away on defense, not giving it away on offense. Really good fourth down unit at their place, big-time challenge. We're excited about it. What do we got?
How disappointing is that to not have Trey be able to come back?
Yeah, it's part of the game.
I guess going into this offseason and kind of not knowing what you're going to do at running back, how much can you kind of trust Trey, not having seen him this year?
I mean, yeah, it's just I'm kind of worried about Houston right now, honestly, Taylor. That's for another time. I know he's disappointed, and we're disappointed.
How did you feel like Fryer did at left tackle?
Good. He stepped in there and battled, you know what I mean? So they got 2 really good edges on this crew. And so we got to make sure we got a plan for both of them.
You guys did homework on Will Anderson leading into the 2023 draft. This isn't the first time you're going to see him, but he's obviously elevated his game to a new level since the last time you saw him. What do you remember from the pre-draft homework you did on him, and what's it been like kind of seeing him?
Elite intangibles. That's what I remember. The first thing that stands out with him, elite intangibles. When you hear Coach Saban talk about him, like he doesn't talk about many guys like that. And then obviously just the skill set, you know, I mean, he's powerful, he's explosive, he's smart, he knows how to play the game, he knows how to set up things, when he can, you know, throw his fastball, when to throw his curveball. That's just rushing the pass, and then he's very ball aware, he takes the ball away. And then in the run game, when you watch the run game, it's very impressive, you know. He's a really good player.
With all the shuffling that you've had to do on the offensive line injury-wise, what does it mean for you guys to have a guy like Yelda who is steady, is there every week, seems to be really smart? Like, what does he mean to that unit, especially in context of what's going on?
Not seems to be. He is. He really is, Darren. The communication starts with him, and he's, you know, a captain for a reason. So it's not easy to be, you know, getting in the huddle with different guys every game or every, you know, different snaps, things like that. But he does a good job. He does his job at a high level. He brings those guys with him. He's kind of the leader of that room, and I'm very pleased with where he's at.
In what ways has it impacted your run game this year to not be able to have your top 2 guys for most of the year?
I think that's a part of it. You know what I mean? You know, when you don't have James and Trey out there, but it's a collective effort. You know what I mean? We got to do a better job.
Going back to Josh Fryer, Drew yesterday was talking about how many different roles that he's played so far this season. Is that more so just a testament to his football IQ? Because I know that's something you were very complimentary of during the offseason.
Yeah, that's part of it. And then he's got the skill set to kind of do different things. You know, not every guard can go play tackle. Not every tackle can go play guard. I mean, Josh can even snap too. So he can really play all 5 to me. But, you know, I've really been pleased with him since he walked in the building way back in April, I guess. Just how he approaches his job, you know, and he's a rookie that's been ascending. And I actually thought in the you know, first part of the season, he had, I thought in my mind, a couple bad days on the practice field, and we talked to him about it, and he's really been doing a good job. You know, and when I say a bad day, just, you know, he's blocking sweat and things like that. It's like, hey, man, you got to play with better technique. You know, I need to see better from you. You know, that's who you're going to be blocking on Sundays, you know, so it's got to look better than it looks right now. And he's done a good job. He took it to heart, and he maximizes himself as a player. And he puts a lot into it. And he's extremely intelligent, which helps a lot.
What did you see from John Gaines in that first extended run?
Yeah, I thought he did good. You know, he's, you know, with Yelda kind of running the communication piece, having another guy in there that's as cerebral as John is, That definitely helped us. I thought he was, he did his job in the run game and the pass game, and he's making calls out there, and it was good to see him play.
That seems like a surprising thing to say. A guy who's barely played is really cerebral at the NFL level already. Does that come from his background as a center, or
It does, and that's why he's a guy that can play multiple spots. And he is, when we acquired him, out of UCLA, we knew that about him, and it's as advertised. He gives Nick's fits when he's on a scout team. Like, he'll pick certain things up, and Nick gets frustrated him at times. Like, the center's not going to do that. Like, well, he just did, Nick, and our free runner was picked up. So, he sees the game the way you need to see it for that position.
You're going against teams with one elite pass rusher, but when they have two double-digit sack guys, how is that different, or how does that impact maybe how you're going to challenge there?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a plan for both of them, and it's hard to put two on each of them every snap. There's no doubt about it. You run out of numbers. So we just got to do a good job with those guys. It's a big time challenge. There's no doubt. Our offense knows that. I talked about it today. But we have to use all the tools that we can to help negate some of those guys, their production. And we just got to be aware of the game-changing plays that they make, when they show up, why they show up, and try to negate some of those.
You've been asked a lot this year about the run game, or maybe like lack thereof. The last 3 weeks, you guys lead the league in passing attempts. I think the number's like 44.7, second to last in rushing attempts. So I'm just curious where you fall on the balance of wanting to maintain that balance to try to keep defenses honest, but also if something's not working, maybe not trying to lead into it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Donnie. I would with stats in a bubble, don't tell the pitcher. They give you some information, but they don't tell the pitcher. When you're down like we've been down, you're not going to run it. You're not even going to try to run it because you can't run. You're running out of possession, so that plays a piece. But specifically to your question, I always say, like, when the defense knows you have to drop back, they have the advantage. So throughout a game, I do think the best offenses out there are pretty balanced. And then with saying that, you want to stay balanced, but it also becomes who you have, what do you do well, and who are you playing and what do they do well. So if they're selling out to stop the run, why are we banging our head against the wall? Let's throw it. If they're putting two guys outside on certain receivers or playing shell concepts, you got to be able to try to run it, because that should be the strength of a call there. When you're in shell, the stress on a defense is the run game because you're light in the box. So it's a little bit of both, I think, what you do well, what they do well. But there's no doubt, you need to have efficient runs whenever you're calling them to make sure that you're staying ahead of the chains, and I do believe that. Even with, not to go back to Sunday, but I mean, how many times did he throw it? Now the game got a little out of hand, so they're kind of running it, and then he got pulled. But when you look at his best games, their offense, he's not throwing it more than 30 times, so it's balanced is my point. It's balanced.
Another big-time challenge for the secondary. What's the key for young corners to bounce back on the fly?
Yeah, you gotta flush the last one, learn from it, but then it's on to the next. You got to get back in the huddle and know that, there's two mentalities you can have. I always tell the corners this, like when you get a ball caught on you. You either get back in the huddle and you're thinking, man, I hope they don't throw it to me again. Or you get back in the huddle and say, I hope they throw it to me again. And that's what separates the elite from the good to the not so good, that mentality. And I truly believe that. Our guys are wired the right way. They're excited about the opportunity. Nico can play. I mean, and Christian Kirk's a good player. Higgins is doing a good job. But Nico, when you watch him on tape, by how they deploy him, how they use him, big-time challenge.
You talked a lot on Sunday and Monday about executing the fundamentals. What are some key areas where you want to see the fundamentals be better this week?
Blocking, tackling, block destruction, throwing, catching, covering, all of them. We'll get back. Yeah, I know. That's what football is. A lot of fundamentals go into the execution of a play from all 11 guys.
You said on
That's the beauty of it.
You said on Burns again, but you sit in those rooms, you watch the way things are coaching, you like the way that things are being coached. Do you ever look then to well, maybe we brought in some of the wrong players in terms of talent?
No, I believe in everybody we got in there. Because I know what they put into it, I know how they work, and I know the fabric of those guys as coaches and players.
You were with Phillip Rivers in Indianapolis, correct?
Yes, I was. Yeah, 2020.
How do you feel about him coming back?
I don't know. What's that?
2 years older than you.
Yeah, he is. A lot more kids than me, too. Yeah, if anybody can do it, it's him. I'd say that.